The stars had always been silent witnesses to human ambitions, but that night, it felt as though they too were watching with unease. The turn of the 22nd century promised to be spectacular. Synchronized fireworks would illuminate the solar system, from Earth to Mars, while satellites projected giant holograms on Jupiter's moons. Yet amidst the celebration, an isolated scientific station near Neptune intercepted something unexpected. A transmission, coming from somewhere beyond known space, interrupted the festive atmosphere. It wasn't a distress call or a friendly greeting. It was a warning. Humans, the portal will activate. Prepare for judgment. The message came with a countdown, and each second brought humanity closer to a mystery that could change everything. In the center of a dark room on Neptune's orbital station, scientists watched, both fascinated and terrified, as the transmission was deciphered. The tone of the words was cold, but the message was clear. Something monumental was about to occur. The countdown coincided with the turn of the year, but its implications ran far deeper. In the distance, the space around Neptune began to distort, as if reality itself were bending. "It's a dimensional portal," one scientist whispered. But what lay on the other side? And who were the senders of the message? Aboard a diplomatic ship orbiting Earth, Maya, a renowned interplanetary negotiator, received an urgent summons. Known for mediating colonial conflicts and resolving impossible disputes, she knew this call was different. The instructions were clear: travel to Neptune and lead an attempt to communicate with the mysterious force behind the transmission. But what she didn't expect was to encounter Alok, an enigmatic Kryos ambassador, waiting for her. He wasn't just an alien. There was something about his presence, something almost human. His eyes gleamed with knowledge and suspicion, as if he knew more than he let on. As Maya and Alok set course for the portal, Earth buzzed with questions and fears. Dante, a young hacker, discovered that the alien message had a familiar structure. "It's based on ancient mathematical patterns," he said as he analyzed the code. His intuition led him to suspect that the transmission wasn't just a threat but a hidden message meant for humanity. Meanwhile, Arya, an experienced drone pilot stationed on Mars, began noticing disruptions in the Alliance's automated defense systems. Something was tampering with the most advanced networks of the Space Alliance. Unbeknownst to them, their paths were about to converge in a race against time. In the space near Neptune, the portal finally began to open, revealing a monumental structure of light and matter that defied the laws of physics. Kryos ships emerged from the other side, forming a ring around the entrance. Their appearance was unlike anything humans had ever seen, a fusion of technology and biology that seemed alive. Maya watched from the window of the diplomatic ship, while Alok remained silent beside her. "You have more at stake than you realize," he murmured. Maya knew that the next few hours would determine not just the future of humanity, but perhaps that of the entire known universe. The diplomatic ship Harmonia glided silently toward the portal, which glimmered like a second sun in Neptune's orbit. Maya gazed at the swirling vortex of energy through the window, fighting the overwhelming sensation of facing something beyond human comprehension. Alok, the Kryos ambassador, stood beside her, as still as a statue. "You don't understand what's at stake here," he finally said, his voice laden with something that sounded like pity and warning. Maya replied cautiously, "Perhaps not, but we're here to understand." Alok averted his gaze, his luminous eyes fixed on the portal. Perhaps it's already too late. As they approached the portal, the ship was met by a fleet of Kryos vessels. The alien designs were both mesmerizing and intimidating, as if carved directly from a living mineral. A beam of light shot across the Harmonia's control cabin, delivering a message directly to its communication system. "Await. Entry is conditional upon initial evaluation," declared a deep, cold voice. Maya frowned. "They're judging us before we even speak," she remarked to the crew. Alok simply murmured, "Standard procedure. For you, at least." Upon entering the Kryos mothership, Maya felt the atmosphere shift. The interior seemed to pulse, as though it were a living entity. The Kryos Council revealed themselves as holographic projections, humanoid figures composed of light and shadow, their voices resonating like a dissonant symphony. "You have exceeded the boundaries of your existence," said one of the voices, laden with an ancient severity. Maya took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. "We seek understanding. We are not your enemies." The response came quickly and sharply. "You are judged not only for what you do but for what you could do. The future is the true danger." As Maya debated with the council, trying to prevent the conversation from devolving into a unilateral accusation, Alok intervened for the first time. "They are entitled to a dialogue, not a preemptive verdict," he said, staring firmly at the projections. The voices hesitated for a moment before responding. "Alok, your compassion for the human species is a deviation that will be assessed. Do not forget where your loyalty lies." Maya noted the conflict in the ambassador's words. He was not just a Kryos representative. There was something about him that suggested his role was more complicated than it appeared. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Dante had finally accessed a deeper layer of the alien message. His discovery left him stunned. The portal's coordinates were encoded in a language resembling humanity's earliest mathematical records. "This isn't a coincidence," he muttered, sharing the data with Arya. She, in turn, recognized patterns that had already appeared in Mars's defense systems. Together, they began to realize that the portal and the Kryos were connected to humanity's history in ways no one could have imagined. Back aboard the Kryos ship, Maya was led to an isolated chamber where Alok confronted her directly. "You don't understand what's at stake here," he said, his voice now more urgent. "The portal is more than a test. It's a point of convergence, something that connects who you are to who you could have been." Maya met his gaze, searching for answers. "And you? What's your role in all of this?" Alok hesitated before replying. "My role is to mediate, but my loyalty is being tested as much as your species." The meeting with the council ended with an ultimatum. Humanity had 48 hours to present proof that it deserved to continue exploring the cosmos. "The decision is not solely ours," the council voices declared. "You must prove yourselves, or the portal will be closed, and the consequences will be permanent." Maya returned to the Harmonia filled with both frustration and determination. As she looked out at the glowing portal, she knew that the next actions would define not only her fate but the fate of all humanity. While Maya dealt with the growing pressure at the portal, Dante and Arya were delving deeper into their discoveries on Earth. The alien code decrypted by Dante seemed increasingly familiar, a blend of ancient mathematics and patterns that shouldn't exist. "This isn't just a language. It's a map, a connection," Dante explained. Arya, ever the skeptic, analyzed the data using drones designed to interpret quantum energy. "If this is what it seems, the portal is trying to tell us something about our own origins," she concluded. For the first time, they both felt they were on a path that could change everything. At the same time, Maya was trying to process Alok's cryptic words. He had mentioned that the portal was a point of convergence, but his explanation remained vague. During another meeting with the Kryos Council, she used this information as leverage. "If we're so dangerous, why does a portal you built need us to function? We're not the only ones being judged here," she argued. The council responded ambiguously. "The Genesis point transcends your understanding. It bears the consequences of choices made long before your species existed," they declared, leaving Maya even more unsettled. Meanwhile, Dante and Arya uncovered a crucial clue in a long-lost record. The entry mentioned the Kepler chalice, an artifact discovered on Mars decades ago before mysteriously disappearing. The data suggested that the chalice contained information capable of fully decoding the portal. "It's like it's the final key," Dante theorized, analyzing the encrypted patterns that perfectly matched the Kryos transmission. The problem was locating the artifact, as its whereabouts had been deliberately concealed by the Space Alliance. "This only proves they've known about this far longer than we have," Arya remarked. Aboard the Harmonia, Maya decided to confront Alok directly. "You said your loyalty was being tested. By whom? Why?" Alok hesitated but eventually revealed part of the truth. "The Council fears humanity, but not because of what you've done. They fear what you might recover. The Genesis point is more than a portal. It's a reminder of a time when our fates were intertwined," he admitted. A chill ran through Maya. Are you saying we were once allies? Alok didn't respond, but his silence was more revealing than any explanation. Back on Earth, Dante and Arya finally pinpointed a concrete lead on the Kepler chalice. It was hidden in an underground facility in Antarctica, protected by advanced AI. They embarked on a dangerous mission to retrieve it, aware that time was against them. During the journey, Arya reflected on the possibility that the chalice had been deliberately hidden to protect humanity from itself. Maybe the chalice reveals something we're not ready to accept, she pondered. Dante, however, was resolute. If that's what they fear, then we need to know. Upon reaching the facility, Dante and Arya faced the automated AI defense systems. The environment was oppressive. Dark tunnels illuminated only by flickering red lights, with mechanical sounds echoing in the depths. It's like this place is alive, Arya remarked as Dante worked to hack the system. After several tense minutes, they managed to disable the security protocols and entered the chamber where the chalice was stored. The sight was mesmerizing. The artifact seemed to float inside an energy capsule, its geometric patterns pulsing in sync with the portal near Neptune. This is it, Dante whispered. It's the key. At the portal, Maya received an encrypted transmission from Dante containing the initial data from the chalice. As she read the information, she realized the chalice wasn't just a key but a device that held the memory of a lost collaboration between humans and the Kryos. All of this was planned, she murmured before turning to Alok. You knew all along, didn't you? Alok averted his gaze, unable to deny it. The weight of the revelation was clear. The Genesis point wasn't just a test of survival. It was an opportunity to reconnect with a forgotten past. But time was running out, and the consequences would be irreversible if humanity couldn't prove its worth. Back in the Antarctic facility, Dante and Arya activated the Kepler chalice, which instantly responded to their commands. Holographic projections filled the room, displaying star maps that included Neptune's portal and other unknown points in the solar system. Arya quickly analyzed the images, pointing to the familiar patterns. These symbols, they're not just maps. They're instructions. Dante nodded, captivated. But instructions for what? This seems far bigger than just opening a portal. Both realized they were dealing with something that transcended human understanding. Meanwhile, Maya and Alok navigated the rising tension within the Kryos fleet. The council, now divided, debated whether to destroy the portal or allow humanity to attempt deciphering it. They have yet to prove they deserve the knowledge the portal offers, declared one of the more authoritative voices. Maya interrupted. Prove? You judge us based on criteria we don't even understand. The chalice is trying to show us something, and it's as important to you as it is to us. The council's projections faltered. Alok finally intervened. Perhaps the judgment isn't about them, but about all of us. Aboard the Harmonia, Maya received another encrypted message from Dante and Arya. This time, the chalice revealed something more specific, a direct historical connection between the Kryos and humanity. These records indicate that, millennia ago, there was an attempt at collaboration, Dante explained in the transmission. The Kryos aren't just observers. They were directly involved in humanity's development at some point. Maya looked at Alok, trying to read his expression. Is this true? He hesitated before admitting, our people share a history with yours, but that history has been forgotten by both sides. The portal is the last link that remains. On Earth, Dante and Arya faced a new challenge. The chalice's defenses began to activate, as if detecting something going out of control at the portal. The energy levels are spiking exponentially, Arya said, trying to stabilize the drones monitoring the artifact. Dante noticed that the chalice's data was being directed toward Neptune, but in a format he couldn't fully decipher. It's like the chalice is communicating directly with the portal, he said. But if we don't understand the full message, it might be too late to stop the worst from happening. Meanwhile, Maya confronted the Kryos Council with the new information. You've been hiding secrets, not just from us, but from yourselves. This portal is more than a test. It's an opportunity to reclaim what we've lost. One of the council's voices responded, laden with doubt. What if what we lost is something we were never meant to recover? What if this union brought us to the brink of destruction? Alok countered with a firmness Maya had not seen before. What if that destruction was the price of ignorance and fear? Denying the connection isn't protection. It's a sentence. In the facility, Dante and Arya finally activated the chalice's core, revealing its most surprising function. It wasn't just a database, but a transmitter. It's sending something to the portal, Arya said as the patterns in the hologram accelerated. Suddenly, their sensors picked up a response from the portal. It's a confirmation, Dante murmured. The chalice is the final key, but it requires something else. Something that can only be activated there. With no time to waste, they transmitted the data to Maya, knowing she was the only one who could complete the mission. Armed with the new information, Maya understood the gravity of the situation. The chalice had confirmed the portal as a point of convergence but also revealed a crucial choice. Activating its full energy would unlock access to a universe of knowledge, but at the risk of unpredictable consequences. The Kryos Council, still divided, offered no guarantee of support. Maya, however, knew that hesitating meant losing everything. As the countdown neared its end, she looked at Alok and said, "The time has come. We're ready, or we'll never be." The Neptune portal pulsed with an intensifying energy, as though on the verge of an explosion. Maya, now fully aware of the implications of the chalice and the shared history between humans and Kryos, walked alongside Alok through the corridors of the Kryos mothership. The council projected their voices in unison. "You now possess the information, but the final decision remains yours. Activating the portal fully may lead to salvation or destruction." Alok, standing firm beside Maya, replied, "And doing nothing will mean losing the only opportunity to reconnect with a past that could save us." Maya felt the weight of the moment. The countdown ticked closer to 0. Meanwhile, on Earth, Dante and Arya struggled to keep the chalice functioning. Its energy began interfering with surrounding systems, causing surges that threatened to destroy the stored data. "The portal is demanding a full connection," Dante explained, watching the increasingly chaotic patterns in the chalice's holograms. Arya worked to stabilize the drones monitoring the artifact, but they were being overloaded. "If we lose the chalice now, all our efforts will have been for nothing," she said resolutely. They sent a final transmission to Maya, warning her that the portal needed activation immediately, or the systems would collapse. At the portal, the Kryos fleet descended into disorder. Some ships began retreating, while others appeared to arm themselves, ready to destroy everything if the decision didn't favor them. Maya, once again facing the Kryos Council, presented the data sent by Dante and Arya. "The chalice has shown that this portal isn't just a judgment. It's a chance to start over. But you're so consumed by fear that you can't see it." The voices responded with a mix of defiance and hesitation. "What if that new beginning is just a cycle of destruction? What ensures that you humans won't repeat the mistakes of the past?" Alok, sensing the council's resistance, took an unexpected stand. He activated a mechanism in his suit, projecting a holographic map of Kryos systems, revealing locations where his own species had hidden truths similar to the chalice. "The cycle of destruction isn't unique to humans," he said. "Our people failed too, but failure doesn't mean we can't learn. The portal was created to remind us of this." Maya observed the impact of Alok's words on the council. Some voices softened, but resistance remained. "This isn't about learning. It's about survival," one voice countered. In the underground facility, Dante and Arya reached a critical impasse. The chalice began emitting energy patterns that spiraled out of their control. "It's self-destructing," Dante said, attempting to halt the process. Arya, however, realized this was part of the chalice's plan. "It's sending everything to the portal. It's trusting that Maya and Alok will finish the work," she said, finally shutting down the surrounding systems to redirect all energy to the transmission. Dante hesitated but knew she was right. The chalice, like a living relic, was fulfilling its final purpose. Maya received the chalice's final transmission, which activated the portal's central core. The structure began transforming, revealing inner layers that seemed to fuse Kryos and human technology. For the first time, the Kryos Council fell silent. Standing beside Alok, Maya faced the moment of decision. "You can activate the portal, but know that doing so will seal the fate of both our peoples," said the council's leading voice. Alak turned to Maya. "If we're destroyed, at least we'll have tried something greater than ourselves." Maya nodded, placing her hand on the activation console. The instant the portal fully activated, a wave of energy rippled across the solar system. The Kryos fleet was engulfed in light, while the council's holograms vanished, leaving only one message echoing through the ship: "The decision has been made. The cycle is complete." Within the portal, a passage opened to a parallel universe, revealing colossal structures and patterns that blended Kryos and human cultures. Maya and Alak realized they had done more than save their species. They had unlocked a legacy far greater than they could comprehend. As the portal radiated with brilliance, Alak murmured, "Now, the real test begins." As the portal's light finally dissipated, a crushing silence followed. In the Kryos fleet, the ships now hovered peacefully around the structure, their systems synchronized with the energy emitted by the portal. Maya gazed at the vast parallel universe that had been revealed, a realm of colors and shapes defying all known laws. Beside her, Alak appeared deeply shaken. "I never thought I would live to see this. This is the point of origin, but also the point of convergence," he said. Maya simply nodded, unable to find the words to describe what she was feeling. The portal was more than a gateway. It was a monument to the lost and rediscovered potential of both species. On Earth, Dante and Arya anxiously monitored the developments. The chalice's final transmission confirmed that it had fulfilled its purpose, but it was now inert. The capsule containing it lay lifeless, as if the artifact had sacrificed its essence to ensure the portal's mission succeeded. "It was more than a key," Arya said, gazing at the remnants of the chalice. "It was a guide, a reminder that our past holds the answers to our future." Dante, visibly moved, began organizing the remaining data to share with Maya. "This is just the beginning. We have so much to learn about ourselves." Back at the portal, the Kryos Council finally broke their silence. Their voices, now less fragmented and more unified, resonated with an unexpected clarity. "You have proven that connection is not a weakness. This rebirth is as much for us as it is for you. But know that the knowledge beyond this portal is both a gift and a burden." Maya understood that this victory wasn't final. The future remained uncertain, but the path was now open. "The difference," she replied to the council, "is that now we can face that burden together." As the portal remained active, its energy began manifesting at other points in the solar system. Long-forgotten structures on Mars, Earth, and Jupiter's moons started to react, emitting patterns similar to those of the chalice. Human scientists and explorers quickly realized that the portal wasn't unique. It was part of an interconnected network spanning more than just the solar system. "This changes everything," Arya said, analyzing the new data. "We're on the brink of an era of discoveries we can't even fathom." Dante, however, was more cautious. "Yes, but we're also on the brink of dangers we don't understand. We need to proceed carefully." The activation of the portal marked the beginning of an era no one could fully predict. For humanity, it was a leap into uncharted territory, filled with both promises and dangers. For the Kryos, it was an opportunity to reconnect with a past they had long chosen to forget. The fragile alliance between the two species was a miracle forged amidst chaos, but also a reminder that trust is not simply granted. It is earned. Maya understood that every decision from that moment forward would carry historic weight. The portal was more than a bridge. It was a call to shared responsibility. Dante and Arya, still on Earth, reflected on the aftermath of the revelations. The now inert Kepler chalice had fulfilled its purpose, but it left behind a legacy of questions that would take decades, perhaps centuries, to answer. The chalice wasn't just a tool. It was a symbol that the past can be more alive than we imagine, Arya remarked. Still processing everything, Dante added, and that the future won't be easy. We need to ensure that what we've discovered here is used in a way that honors it. As the two analyzed the remaining data, it became clear their work was only beginning. In Neptune's orbit, the Kryos fleet held its formation, but the earlier threats to humanity were gone. The Kryos Council, though still hesitant, began to adopt a more conciliatory stance. This is not an end but a pause in the cycle, the voices declared in a less severe tone. Maya realized that while the council still harbored secrets, there was an openness to something new. Alok, standing beside her, looked relieved but also bore the weight of what lay ahead. "They're learning to trust, but trust takes time," he said. Maya replied, "And sometimes all the time in the world isn't enough. But we have to try." The implications of the portal reverberated far beyond the boundaries of the solar system. Both human and cryo scientists were already theorizing that other portals might exist, connecting parts of the universe still unknown. The map revealed by the chalice indicated that the shared knowledge was only a fraction of something far greater. "The universe we know is just a small piece of a much larger puzzle," stated one Kryos leader during a joint broadcast. On Earth, these words inspired both awe and fear. The potential for expansion was immense, but so was the risk of awakening forces neither species was prepared to face. Maya, now recognized as a central figure in humanity's history, declined any titles or positions of power. For her, the work at the portal and building trust between humans and Kryos was more important than honors. Before departing on a new mission, she recorded a message to be shared between the two peoples. "The portal does not belong to us. It is an opportunity but also a reminder that we are only a small part of something greater. If we choose ambition over unity, there will be no more chances. It is time to prove we've learned from our mistakes." Alok, still recovering, returned to the Kryos Council to act as a mediator between his species and humanity. Though some on the council still questioned his loyalty, he stood firm in his belief that the portal represented the future for both peoples. "You judged me for believing in them," he said during his first meeting with the council. "But now I see that our survival depends on believing in each other." His words marked the beginning of a new dynamic within the Kryos as they began to reconsider their own prejudices and fears. As the portal's light continued to shine over Neptune, it became a visible symbol of a shared future. Both humans and Kryos were only beginning to comprehend what lay on the other side. But the first step had been taken. Maya, Dante, Arya, and Alok, united by difficult choices and sacrifices, knew there was still much to be done. But for now, one thing was clear. The portal was not just a bridge between worlds. It was a chance to start anew. And as Maya's ship drifted away, with the portal glowing in the distance, the stars seemed to shine brighter, as though the entire universe was watching what would come next.